Welcome to Blackland, episode 6. This episode is entitled Real Estate Investment Groups, which I think is a key topic in this current economic state for black people. Blackland is a video series whose purpose is to empower black people to give them information and tips on how to get involved in the real estate game and become investors and landowners and property owners. What spurred this was actually I bought these three products on the internet, but this is the one that actually caused me to think about this series. It is a chapter in my book, which will be out in February. But this series, Resurrecting Black Wall Street, had a point in there where they talked about how Greenwood in Tulsa, Oklahoma, had a group of blacks there had pooled money, invested and bought property, developed it, and that started what is now known as Black Wall Street. What I also got, which I think is really cool for kids, is they have this Black Millionaires of Tomorrow finance flashcards, which are really great. So if you have kids as young as, I would say, 6, because the print type and the words are kind of at that level. So it goes on cash, explains what cash is, money and coins or bills, consumer, producer, which is key, right? We need those. So it's just a really good thing for young black kids to read and learn about equity, stock. So this is stuff that our kids need to be on top of, like, right now. So I would advise you to go get these. These are at drboycewatkins.com. I think it's actually just boycewatkins.com. And I also got these from the same site, I think, or maybe not. But you can look and find. These are called Black History flashcards, but they're good because they have a lot of black prominent people who you may not have heard of. So this is a good tool for your kids to learn their actual history and not what they're being taught in school, which is often inaccurate and just blatantly lies, actually. So back on the top topic today is real estate investment groups. So what those are, they are groups who pool money together in order to purchase a property. The purpose of it is because you don't need one individual to come up with a large sum of money in order to put a down payment on a home or investment home. So that's one of the benefits of it. Another one is that it gets individuals into the real estate investment game a lot quicker, because you don't have to wait and save up as much as you need to for a down payment, because you're going to have a group that actually can pool money and come up with that same investment, or the same down payment. So these groups, I would, if I were getting into one, I think my goal would be to amass like $50,000. That's a good number in any market to figure out. Not any market, but in most markets, it's a good number to figure out how much a home would cost, or investment property, a condo, whatever. And in markets where it's that number, 50,000 would get you like two properties. Then you do that, because the 50,000 I use, that would be 10% of a $500,000 per purchase, and it'd be 20% of a $250,000 purchase. So with that in mind, if you're in a market where homes are 150, then potentially you could get 2 or 3. But I would start with 1 and then just keep the other, say you have 50, if you can use 15,000 and get one, then you keep the other 35,000 in the bank as a reserve fund for anything that may happen to the home. And it's important actually to have reserve funds, because that's often that can make or break you. I had that issue where I had three properties and I didn't have enough reserve fund, and it pretty much broke down my whole system. So we weren't able to keep any of the three. So you want to definitely make sure that you have a reserve fund, right? So I have three benefit points. So first, it eliminates an individual's needs to come up with a large down payment. Two, it gets you into the game quicker, because you don't have to amass as much money individually for down payment. And then the third thing is that because you're putting down a smaller amount of money, you can actually diversify your investment. So if you're investing in real estate, so say you have $10,000 that you want to put in play, and you get a group of 10 guys, and you're all going to put in 2,500. So you're going to have 25,000, and then you're going to each put in some amount a month until you get up to the $50,000 mark. So you put 25 into that. You had 10. Now you have 7,500, which you can put into other investments: stock market, money, gold, bonds, whatever financial avenue that you think would produce a return that you are looking for. So those are the three benefits initially that you should think about when we talk about real estate investment groups. So when we talk about how it works, ideally you would create a group that can amass, as I said, $50,000. You want to have between 5 and 10 people in it, and you're looking to purchase a property, right? So the first thing, those are the kind of the basis of it, is that you're gonna have you have a number you want to amass. You have a group that you build to create that initial down payment, and then you're gonna look at a property, right? So what you want to have with this is that you want to have a plan that you have in place and that you stick with, and that you don't deviate from at all, right? So the first thing you want to do is define the roles of the people in the group. So let's say you have a group of 10. You want to set this up as a regular business, right? So you want to have a CEO, president, vice president, treasurer, secretary. You want these roles because you want to operate as closely to an official business as you can, because that's going to create an understanding from everyone in the group that this isn't like a play thing, or just a random thing where we're just going to wing it. You want to make sure that everyone knows that this is about business, and that they are clear that this is about business. So you want to define roles. 1, you want to create an LLC. 2, because you want this again to be an official group, and then that way people understand roles, as I said. 3, you want to have a third party, like an attorney, involved, so that they can create the bylaws of the company and how you guys will operate. So from that attorney, one you want to define investment goals. So you want to figure out, are you going to be a cash flow investment group, or are you going to be an appreciation group? So if you're a cash flow group, you expect that property over time, each month, is going to create a return that you guys will get every month. So you're building whatever it is, a condo building, 3 family, whatever it is, you guys are expecting a certain amount of cash flow that building can produce. That's one way to look at it. And another way is that if you're in better markets, it's more difficult to create cash flow profit because the acquisition price is so high, and the rents don't exactly cover the price of the home or investment property. So with those, you would be looking at appreciation. So you're going to look at over 5 years, the rate that this home investment, whatever it is, appreciates is going to be greater than the loss of money that we are taking on a monthly basis in rent. So if your monthly loss is, say, $1,000 and over 12 months, that's 12 grand, but your appreciation every year is 30 grand, it's fine. So you just move accordingly. So over 5 years, your profit there, if you lost 12 a year, you had 30 as your appreciation, looking at 18,000 a year. So let's say over 10 years, say you're 360,000. I had to do that right. 30,000, right? So you're 600,000 in appreciation over 10 years if you held it. So that's your net after after your losses of whatever that at 12 grand a year. So that's one way that you can look at it as well. You want to define your target location. You want to define property type. You want to define timeline to purchase. How often you invest in this pool. So if, again, like I said, if you guys only had 25, you want to figure out how you get to 50. So over time, if everyone puts in 1,000 a month, which is a lot, but let's say you do 100 a month, and every year, those 10 guys are gonna and women are gonna come up with 1,200 a year, right? So times 10 people, you're 11,000. So within you figure 3 or 4 or 5 years, you will be over the 50,000 and in a position that you can actually make the investment then. So you definitely want to have this plan in place when you decide to do a group investment. The other thing that you want to figure out is how you determine any decisions that are made. So which property you buy, how much money to put it in, when you buy, what offer you make. So you're gonna have to decide that either you have a point person who you trust and they make every decision. I don't advise that. You can have a smaller group within the group that the group gives a certain level of terms that they can operate within, so that they are confined within this. So say we are looking at homes that are 500,000, and the group says we don't want to spend any more than 450. So anything under that, anything over that, we don't want to even see. So bring us the ones that are all under 450. So you need to decide, are those decisions made as a majority vote or a unanimous vote? So you want to have that set in stone too. So again, I went over this really quick, but that plan at the end, I'm going to have it at the end of my book, which comes out February late, I believe it's looking like now. But you want to have this plan in place before you even go look at a home. So you want your operations set, you want your roles defined, your LLC, your third-party lawyer who is taking care of the details of how you guys operate in a legal manner. And then you want to go out looking at homes. So you set your team. If I'm within that 10 group, within that group of 10, you have an acquisition team of 2 or 3 people who go look at homes. They bring the listings back. Everyone looks at them. You give them a week that they can go look at the homes themselves. If it's a hot market, you're gonna have to act quick. So you also need to have that as part of your plan, knowing that your market is hot and sales occur rapidly. You want to be able to have a plan in place that accounts for that as well. So that's this episode. Again, this is episode 6, which deals with real estate investment groups. Again, Black Land series is created to empower Black people to learn as much as they can on about the investment game in terms of real estate, and be informed so that they can actually become active participants in the purchasing, investing, land ownership process. So have a great afternoon, evening, or night, whichever part of the country world that you are in, and look out for episode 7, which I'm going to record shortly. So I'm going to put out a bunch of these over the next 3 weeks. I want to put out probably about 5 in that time. So yeah, thanks for watching, and tell a friend, and hit the subscribe button. Share the video. We need as many Black people getting involved in this as we can, because we actually have a crisis economically that we need to address, and we need our kids to be aware of what they need to do going forward as well.